Lagos' Hot F.
That's right. This is Hot 93.3 Lagos. It is 14 minutes to the top of the hour. My name is Charity O. I'm here with you, of course, on the Super Drive. I did mention to you yesterday and the day before yesterday, I've been screaming that I would have some special guests in the studio with me. I've mentioned a time without number that 2023 elections are around the corner. And one thing for sure is that here at Hot 93.3, we will constantly bring up the conversations previously and future conversations and conversations leading up to the general elections. With less than a year, the 2020 general elections is around, and the race for the presidential ticket of political parties is getting more intense as political parties strategize towards holding their party primaries. The issue of which of the 6 geopolitical zones in Nigeria will be the presidential candidate emerge has been the subject of national discourse. We've had the conversation so many times here at Hot 93.3, and I must let you know that of 62 years post-independence in Nigeria, the North has ruled for 37 years mostly military head of state, and the second president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria happens to be the first Igbo president, Chief Benjamin Nnamdi Kanu, who ruled from October 1st, 1963 to January 16, 1966. And the third president we had in the country happened to be the second Igbo president, Major General Johnson Aguiyi-Ironsi, who happened to be the head of military government for 6 months. Yes, and I do know that there has been a power shift and a rotational presidency conversation being held, and there's been the major cause of feud in the Nigerian polity since independence in 1960. Now, I did mention to you yesterday and earlier today that we would have members of the Greater Nigerian Conference joining us, and I will tell you that they're very, very passionate that Nigeria can actually work better to be greater, and the GNC is actually appealing and persuading and cooperating over the whole Nigerian political community to see that 2023 Nigerian president comes from the southeast. And this, they say, is going to be a unifying sacrifice to heal the land and also bind and seal our nationhood. I know you can join the conversation. You know, you can always text us on 081-800-89933 or send a message via Twitter at hotfm_Lagos. Or better still, you can call and join the conversation via calls 081-8242-6591. Look, I'm very, very honored at this moment. I have in the studio with me amazing heavyweights in this case. See, politics, you can't talk about Nigerian politics without mentioning these two names. I've got Dr. Okwesilieze Nwodo, the former governor of Enugu State and also the former PDP national chairman. And I also have Senator Chris Anyanwu, President Nzuko Umuna, the 2-term senator and also a media entrepreneur in the studio. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining me. Doctor, I have a question for you. Your story into, politics is very, very interesting. I did read about you in the past. I mean, you were the governor of Enugu State, let's just say a month before I was born. And then you're here with me. Look, I called my mom today. I said, do you know who is going to be here? She said, hey, okay. So your story was quite interesting. I mean, I did read that you were a surgeon and you wanted to be the best surgeon in the world. You said, you didn't know how you got into politics, but I do know that you were taking over because your brother at that time was disqualified. What was it for you that time before, what was the pressure like? And also, how has it been since you started politics in 1992?
Well, it's been a good journey so far.
Okay.
Good.
Right.
As you said, I didn't have any interest in politics. But my 2 siblings had quite young. My brother who was running for governor.
Yes.
And who was disqualified. And my younger brother who had been president of Students' Union in Ibadan and a minister under Shehu Shagari.
Right.
So I was interested in my medicine. I trained as a pediatric surgeon.
Yes.
But when I stepped into government, I realized that all my life, living in a political family, I had acquired a lot of politics without knowing. And to be honest with you, I was amazed at my own achievements.
Right.
I didn't expect that I could play that role. But when I stepped into it, people also who were around me were amazed. I was 42 then, and I had never been in any position that would have prepared me for that.
Right.
But luckily, as I said, I grew up in a political environment.
Mm.
So, secondly, is that when we ran the campaign, at that time my brother was the one running.
Yeah.
I was his campaign
Manager.
DG. We actually articulated a blueprint for the state. And that became obvious the night of the last campaign when I had a TV debate with the candidate of the other party. I was then NRC and GNG was for SDP. By the time the TV debate was over,
Yeah.
the entire state was convinced that I had an agenda for the state and I was going to hit the ground running. And my opponent had nothing to offer the state. And that's how we started well, hit the ground running until Abacha took us out.
Since you got into politics, it's been 30 years now. How would you say there's been an evolution? What's the evolution for you like? What have you seen? Do you think that there are changes or, it's still been the same way politics have been run since 1992 to now?
To be honest with you, when I finished with governorship, the next challenge was when we formed PDP.
Okay.
And we had lofty ideals. And I was the founding national secretary. We actually wanted to make sure that the military never comes back to power.
Yeah.
We're determined that Nigeria has a lot of resources. No Nigerian should go to bed hungry.
Right, true.
We should be able to create jobs for our people. We should be able to build and sustain the educational institutions where we had, which produced quality manpower in Africa and in the world. And all of that. Now, all the years down the line, I've seen the decline in our party and in the country at large.
Right.
Which is very sad. In fact, I started a book before I became national chairman. And I was going to title it The Unfinished Business.
Oh.
In other words, this is where we started. These are the lovely ideas we had for the country. And look at where we are. Things have gotten worse. And that business we set out to accomplish is unfinished. And how do we get back to the track?
Right.
Okay. So our country today is a huge challenge to us, the politicians in particular. The government that is ruling our country today has not done well. We're the poverty capital of the world. We are the unemployment capital of the world. We're the hungry capital of the world.
Yes.
Our economy is in shambles and with no plan to reverse it. And the insecurity in the country is monumental.
It is.
We are not safe anywhere in any part of Nigeria. So there are serious issues to be addressed. And what is worse in all of this, the country is at the brink of disintegration because every part of the country is tired of Nigeria and want to go.
That's very true.
So to restore the unity of this country is a big challenge for the incoming government. To reverse the statistics that I've just mentioned, where we're the worst in every aspect of governance in the world, is a huge challenge for the incoming government. And that's why we, in the GNC, we are trying to bring the country back.
Right.
So what should be the right thing to do at this time? And that if we do it, it will give hope to our country. It will give hope to restoration of Nigeria's unity. It will give hope to restoration of our economy. It will give hope for the young people, for their engagement. It will give hope to restore security in our country. So we in the GNC, our focus at this time are these issues, not necessarily which party can do it best, but who can do it best, and where can we harvest that person that can do it best, that will reunite our country. And we believe that rests in the southeast of Nigeria.
Yes. Now, the GNC says that, not just the GNC, a lot of people at this moment are clamoring for an Igbo president, Igbo presidency. And we see that there's a lot of Southerners coming out at this moment, vying for tickets. More Southerners and even Northerners are coming out to look for the tickets, the party tickets amongst the primaries to get this seat. I'm curious to know what chances you think an Igbo person has to actually get a ticket. At this moment, the PDP has actually opened up their ticket, saying anyone can actually come up and get it. What chances would you say an Easterner or a Southeasterner or an Igbo person has to get this ticket for the presidency?
Well, what we're doing right now is appealing to the conscience of the Nigerian people. What is it that we can do right to reverse what is going on in the country?
Right.
We are having a northern president as we speak, who will be doing 8 years by next year.
Yes.
We have had a tradition of rotating the presidency between the north and the south, especially following the current republic. And we started with Obasanjo in the south, we went to Yar'Adua in the north, we came down to Jonathan in the south, gone back to the north with Buhari, so it should come down south. Now, anybody who is saying this should not happen does not love Nigeria, because he's destroying the peace. He's destroying, he's removing the hope that our people have today that the ills of this government can be reversed. We have never been so near to breaking up since after the Civil War. And every part of the country is demanding that they are tired of Nigeria, they want to go their separate ways.
Yeah.
The only way to stop it is the Southeast presidency. Because when the presidency is zoned to the south, we know that in the southwest, we had Olusegun Obasanjo for 8 years. And right now, we have a vice president for 8 years from the southwest. Now, if you go to south-south, good Lord Jonathan was vice president for 3 years and president for 5 years.
Yes.
The south is nothing like that. Therefore, if there must be justice, there must be fairness, if there has to be equity, then a lot of natural justice, apart from the convention of our country, presidency should come south and it should go to southeast.
Okay.
Now, this point, we have to convince our people that it is the unassailable truth. And if a country wants to build based on solid foundation, it must be on justice, it must be on fairness, it must be on equity. If you remove these solid blocks that build a nation, you're building on quicksand.
Right.
And Nigeria needs to build on a solid foundation. Therefore, our country must wake up its conscience to address an issue of existentialism of our Nigerian Federation. And that is by addressing the truth of this matter today. To zone the presidency to the southeast in order to reunite the country. We have, at the beginning they said we didn't have quality people.
Right.
Now look at the people that were parading in the southeast, in both PDP and SDP and in other parties. The Mohalus and the Justice of Abga. So we're not lacking in quality people.
Right.
If you don't want a president from the southeast, you are saying so out of prejudice. You have not produced a superior argument to what we are saying. What is that superior argument? Somebody said that they now want merit. And I like the way Ayo Adabanjo addressed this issue. If you want merit, Southwest will be president forever. Because merit resides there. You know?
Yes.
So, all sorts of concoctions to deny the Southeast of the presidency. And we have asked repeatedly, what has the Southeast done wrong? Nobody has told us. So why are you persecuting us? Why must you treat us as second-class citizens? Why will you deny us of our inalienable rights? that has been offered to other parts of the country, and we supported. Even when Obasanjo became president. The votes he used to win presidency didn't come from Southwest. So Lufalaye got the votes from Southwest. But the rest of the country says he's going to be president, and we voted for him, and he became president. So if anybody from the Southeast who can do this job, and the country says this man can do the job, yes, we can. The country can vote him in and make him president.
Right.
And it will heal so much wound. It will heal so much pain. It will heal so much division in the country. Now, people of the Southeast, by their own God-given talents, are entrepreneurs.
Yes.
And I believe that a president of Southeast extraction, whether you call him P2B or Samu Huabunwa, these are people who are dying the wood economists, who have actually practiced economy successfully. All in the different offices they have held in their lives. So, and their God-given talents as entrepreneurs, as Igbos. That biggest problem in Nigeria, the economy, can be solved.
Right.
And if you solve the economy, you solve unemployment, you solve insecurity. You are working here.
Yes.
You are earning a livelihood.
I am.
Why are you not carrying AK-47 in the forest?
I have a job.
You have a job.
Yes.
So if we create jobs by people who know how to create jobs, if we make money and money solves the economy, why are you running away from people who can do these things?
Very true.
So these arguments we are making are not being challenged. Only prejudice is coming up from here and there. But we thank God, from the Southwest, great men like Ayadebanjo speak up. From the South, great men like Edwin Clark speak up. From the Middle Belt, great men like Bitrus Pagu speak up. This demand for Southeastern presidency has taken a life of its own.
It has.
Everybody from across Nigeria is saying if you want justice in Nigeria, go to the Southeast. It is only people who have selfish and personal ambition that are standing in the way. But Nigeria is bigger than them.
Nigeria is
I
definitely
think that
bigger.
when the conscience of this country wakes up, selfishness will be reduced to second fiddle. And merits and honesty, justice and fairness will take the front stage.
Very well said. Just before you got in here, I was looking up this news story that broke. Apparently, the coalition of northern groups yesterday said that members of the Igbo Elders Consultative Forum and other groups clamoring for the emergence of a president from the Southeast extract and saying that they are going about the agitation in a wrong manner. And this is what the spokesman said. His name is Abdulaziz Suleiman. I'm going to read this out. He was addressing journalists in Abuja yesterday, and he said, according to him, he said, Igbo leaders are thirsty for the zone to produce Nigeria's next president for allegedly seeking to tamper with the nation's criminal justice system by pressuring for the unconditional release of Nnamdi Kanu. He also said that there's a clamor for Igbo president. And that's basically what he said, that's the reason why. That was what he said. They basically also said, what was it? He said, pardon me, I need to look this up. He said, Igbos can't be trusted with presidency. That's what the Northern Group has come out to say. And they said they're raising concern over the adopted method of the Igbo Elders Consultative Forum and other groups. What are your thoughts to that?
Abduction of Igbo elders from?
They said Consultative Forum and other groups clamoring for the emergence of president of the Southeast extraction. Basically said that they're clamoring for this because of Nnamdi Kanu. Well,
I think it's a very watery and foolish excuse to make. The truth of the matter is, no matter what anybody says, nobody has championed the cause of Igbo marginalization more than Nnamdi Kanu.
Okay.
Releasing Nnamdi Kanu tomorrow, he walks on the streets of the Southeast. Millions of people will file behind him because he represents their agitation for freedom, for participation in a country that they call their own.
Inclusion.
Okay? Now, if you want to penalize him for that, we, his brothers and sisters and father, say it is wrong. He didn't carry guns to go and kill people. People are killing people all over Nigeria.
Yeah.
Maiming people, raping people, kidnapping people. Nobody has ever been arrested. Nobody has ever been made to face prosecution and sent to prison. For somebody who is demanding, we are Nigerians, treat us as such or let us go, is a terrorist. Is that fair?
It's not fair.
And if we say that that is not fair, then we want to be president so that that will become fair. Whoever is president of Nigeria, what is being done to Nnamdi Kanu is unfair. And that's why we, the leaders of Southeast, demand a political solution.
Okay.
Not an arranged criminal trial.
Okay.
In which the man is found guilty before he opens his mouth.
Okay.
Why do you have his court sessions held without the press, without the public? What do you want to achieve? A predestined judgment. Give him fair trial. If he's found guilty, let him go for it. But also those who are killing and kidnapping should be given trial also. And if found guilty, should pay for it.
Very well.
Justice must be even-handed. Not one justice for Igbo man, another justice for an Hausa man or any other tribe. We say no. Our demand for Igbo presidency is our right as Nigerians. Nobody can take that right away from us. Whether you hate or love Nnamdi Kanu is immaterial to the fact that we are Nigerians and we have a right to be president of Nigeria.
Okay.
Don't bring up stupid excuses.
Okay.
It doesn't make sense.
The oppressor can always come up with any logic, any argument to prove or to strengthen what he intends to do, which is to do injustice. And I think that that argument is just one of those arguments that are trumped up as justification for continued exclusion of a group of people from the system. Continued injustice. What you see, it seems today that we're talking about the Southeast.
Yeah.
This thing is not about the Southeast only. It's about how do we break a cycle of injustice, of exclusion. How do we break it? How do we purge Nigeria from these negative passions that have led it nowhere but to destruction? How do we pull back at this very crucial and critical stage in the life of this nation and change the story of Nigeria to a better story and build a better society where you don't have to be afraid at night crossing the road?
Yeah.
Where you don't have to worry whether your neighbor is from the east or west or north or south. Where we can coexist and people can bring forth the gifts that God has given them and live to the fullest. That's what we're talking about. We have a moment now, an opportunity to pull Nigeria back from the brink. But it looks like some people have seen a greater future and they have blinked. And they are moving back to their comfort zone where they are coming from. The place of contest, the place of hate, the place of discrimination, the place of doing things wrong. Today is Igbos or South is complaining. But you know, once you say there is no basis for zoning, there is no basis for rotation of power, you will, by extension, uproot all those other policies that are ingrained in the system to contain and to manage our diversity. Federal character will have no reason to exist anymore. VAT and tax. You cannot collect taxes or VAT here and then distribute it elsewhere. Right? You cannot now ask my kid, who's a grade A person, student, to step down and not get into the university in preference to a kid who is a grade C or D in performance. That whole policy of cushioning the gaps between the different segments of society will be gone, will be erased. And it is not the Southeast alone that will feel it. Everybody will feel it on different levels. So this is just the beginning of the game. And I think we're about to get into a very interesting time in the life of the nation.
Yeah.
Eventually, that cycle of injustice will get to all of us.
Yeah.
And we will feel the pain. And we will understand the consequences of careless and ill-motivated decisions. I don't believe that those decisions that you are talking about were made out of feelings of patriotism. Anybody who loves Nigeria, that wants to hold this place down, will not uproot those things. Because, in fact, in one of the constitutional amendment exercises, it was said that power will be rotated along the geographical zones until it's gone round. And after it's gone round, you can now have an exercise by which Nigerians can vote yes or no to continue on rotation of power. Right. It has not gone round. Why do you let it go and it gets to a point and you say, no, we will not continue that. We change the goalpost. It's now excellence. Yes, everybody coming with the best, the most excellent, the most... In terms of excellence, in terms of exposure, in terms of capacity, in terms of education, the people we are producing from the Southeast are shoulder, higher, above the rest. Let the truth be told. You cannot be talking about excellence and you're looking down on a place where, in fact, every year, after you take the common entrance, they score higher. They score the highest in the country. How do you do that? Where you have a surfeit of... No, you can't. So, an oppressor will always concoct reasons, a logic for continued oppression, continued discrimination, continued injustice. But I think, to me, it's weighing Nigeria down. I think it's about time for Nigeria to purge itself of these feelings, negative fears, unnecessary fears. Oh, if you give them, you now, releasing Nnamdi Kanu. Is Kanu meat that you're going to lock up there forever? What are you doing with him locked up there? Yeah, you can say he's foul-mouthed and the rest of it, but it's no justification also,
right,
for doing certain things. So, the two things, in fact, are not, if anything, if you would release him, then you are, in fact, put a lie to some of his arguments about discrimination. And
right,
that will calm down, that's the unrest, agitation.
All right, very well.
So you have an opportunity now to prove him wrong. You have an opportunity to prove that thing you're saying, that these people don't like, these people, don't want you, that he's talking nonsense. But you don't want to take that opportunity. It must be that you carrying a weight of fear and unnecessary passions that are killing you. And I think Nigeria is such a beautiful place, blessed by God. It's not fair for us to miss this opportunity and squander it and destroy it. But then, if those who are making those policies prefer to tear it apart and destroy it, it's their choice.
It is
their choice.
Lagos is Hot